Good afternoon. Well, this is Ivan Amera. This is another very interesting video. The company updated my phone today, so you can tell, I think you guys can tell the quality is a bit better, right? Because today during work, they upgraded my phone, yeah. I think my camera quality is even better too and everything, yeah. My battery's completely lit. My battery's at 1%, so it's on life support. I'm charging my phone while I'm making the video because I have like 1% battery left. Because the charger's plugged in, I can make my video. Yeah. The camera looks a little bit better, but it's still still similar to before right now. Was today busy, Ivan? For a weekend, it wasn't that busy, but for me, it was busy because I was alone. It took me, again, like an hour and like 30 minutes to close again. But today, they mopped for me, they did the garbage for me. They did the garbage in the end for me. During the day, I still had to do a bunch of garbages. But at the end of the day, they took all the garbage and they mopped. I only have to clear my dish pit. Today wasn't that bad closing, but it still took me an hour and a half to close, right? Yeah, I'm fucking tired. Yeah. Yeah. Are you looking, Ivan? Yeah, I'm looking, man. I'm looking for the jobs. And I need full-time shifts. Right now, I'm part-time at... I only work once a week at Dinty's. Both Coco Fruity and Dinty's cut my hours. I asked the boss for more shifts. I only work 3 days a week, which is shitty money. I'm only making $600. I want to at least make my $800. And Dinty's now, I only make like my $180, $190 at Dinty's. That's why I'm looking for the jobs. But so for all the jobs I applied to, none of them got back to me, man. Yeah. Yeah. But when I get my resume from my stepdad, I'm gonna bike to Shadow Cartier. There's another guy at Coco Fruity. He's also applying there too. I'm gonna bike with him, and we're gonna go to Shadow Cartier and apply together. One of the guys who works at Coco Fruity. Yeah. What are you applying for there? I'm applying for dishwashing there. I can't apply for line because line I have no experience doing line. Obviously. And line there they pay $20 an hour. The gatekeepers will never let me work there full time because they will never let me make $20 an hour. Whereas dishwashing they pay me minimum wage. 16.10 is minimum wage in Quebec. They pay me that. So I'm applying for the dishwashing position. Was the other guy's applying for the line position? Obviously, who works at Coco 40. Who knows? We might get the job, right? I would love to work at Shadow Cartier. Working at a hotel, you get benefits. I think you get dental and health benefits, and you also get discounted, I think, membership for the pool. I'm gonna get a membership there for swimming, obviously, if I end up working there, yeah. I'll pay for the 1 year membership. I probably get a discount, maybe 50% discount or something like that. Yeah. And that's why the gates don't touch my money, man. You won't let me. You won't let me make money in this world, only minimum wage. You're not touching the dime off my book royalties, man. That money's for me, BJ. The billions are for me. It's for me, BJ. It's not for you. You're just a greedy pig, man. Yeah. There's no way in heck I'm gonna let the gates dupe like that when they have all those trillions in their bag. I'm gonna let you take my billions. You're crazy, man. Those billions are for me, BJ. It's not for you, man. You're not touching my money. Yeah. This may be your house, but you didn't create this place, man. Me and VJ did. And so you don't sort of draw money. Ivan, this is my house. Yeah, the house that I fucking created. I created the fucking universe. I'm the true heir, not you. You don't serve control my money. And they know that. They're just blinded by their envy. They're crazy people. The gatekeepers. The families, right? Yeah, they're crazy people. Yeah. I mean, how much money do you think you'll make off your book? 10 to 14 to 12 to 18 to $20 million I make off the book. I might make my 20. A good like 900, maybe a billion people buy my book, I make my 20 billion off the book. If I make 20 billion, I'll put a good 2.3, 2.4 billion towards Xanus. I make each movie for like 750 million, 60 million dollars, a bit more. I can put like 450 million towards visual effects. Special effects. Yeah. Means I how much money off your book, by the way. I made $20 billion. You made $20 billion off your book. I'm like, yeah. She's like, holy shit, that's a lot of money. Ivan, we can build that dream like 800 million house. Yeah, if I make 20, I'll put 800 million towards my house. We can build that dream 800 million house, Ivan. Yeah, and even more pimped out house. 550 is already unheard of. That's already like Incredibles. 800 is even more pimped out. That's even more high tech, right? You made $20 billion with a B, Ivan. Are you sure that's not $2 billion? I'm like, no, VJ, I'm not lying. Holy shit, that's a lot of money, Ivan. You made $20 billion off your masterpiece? I'm like, yeah, I did. She's like, holy shit. VJ shocked. Are you gonna share that with me? I'm like, yeah, I will. Relax, man. You gonna share that with my movie? Yeah, I'll share that with you, Ivan. Yes. VJ, you have to share that with my movie too. That's how it works. Some Sarah. Ivan, are you gonna have Sky Source Entertainment uniforms? Yes, I will. I'm gonna do a thing where all the Lord of the Rings Hobbit crewmen, when they work, they have their they have this Sky Source T-shirt. Something fucking cool, yeah. A Sky Source Entertainment T-shirt. The chefs, I'm gonna have a Sky Source Entertainment chef uniform. Like Eric Rezahaki, they wear this like white uniform, and they have the chef hats, and it says Sky Source Entertainment. Yeah. You guys have to wear a uniform when you work. When you work, it's mandatory, right? You got to wear a uniform. I don't want to see any Hollywood uniforms here, guys. This is not Hollywood. This is Sky Entertainment. Nobody wears Hollywood uniforms for my company. This is Sky Entertainment. It's not Hollywood. So I'm sorry. Yeah. I'm also gonna create create jackets, nice nice jackets, like Last Over Xanus jackets and everything for the actors, all that stuff. Yeah, like I might create a jacket for Peter when he directs. He has his Last Over Xanus jacket. Remember for Lord of the Rings, Peter had a Lord of the Rings jacket. Yeah, I designed like a Sky's Damon jacket. Peter wears it, get multiple wears it when I direct the movie. Yeah, something cool like that. That's cheap. It only cost me a couple $100,000 for that, right? Yeah. What? Just give me a second, guys. My other supporter's calling me. Alrighty, guys, I'm back. My younger stepbrother was calling me for something. He's watching a CFL game right now on TV, right? Yeah. Ivan, do you follow sports? No, not really. I'm not really a sports guy. Yeah, I'm not really a sports guy. I'm more of a movie guy, right? Yeah, like my younger brother is obsessed with sports. Like he watches all the sport talk shows and everything, whereas me, I'm the opposite. I watch all the movie shows like John Campbell, Romy Burnett, and all these guys, Midnight Edge. I love movie news. How much will it do at the box office? Will the movie be good? Casting announcement. That I'm more interested in movies than sports. I like sports, but I'm more into movies than I am sports, obviously, right? There's a reason why I always talk about movies, right? In Hollywood. That's what I'm into. And my dream is to be a movie star, not to be a professional athlete, right? You know. Being a professional athlete's cool, but it's not as cool as being a movie star, right? Being a movie star is much cooler than being a professional athlete. Yeah. Yeah. That's why Rachel will be shocked. You made $20 billion off your book, Ivan? I'm like, yeah. She's like, holy shit, that's a lot of money, Ivan. Yeah, she's shocked. BJ, it's just, she doesn't know what it's like to have that kind of money, man. Ivan, that's a lot of money, man. Like, we never have to work again, man. We're set for life, Ivan. Yeah, I know, we're set for life. Yeah, as me and BJ can easily just live the life. We don't even have to work, man. I still have money lasts us for hundreds of years. I don't want to be lazy, just live like Vijay. I want to work. It's good to work, and my dream is to be a movie star. And me and Vijay, we end up starting Scotch Entertainment together, our big film entertainment studio. And if I make $20 billion, I'll put $400 million towards the studio lot to build it right a bit more, and I'll put $800 million towards my house. Sorry. Ivan, what about Eric Rezahaki? If I make more than 20, then I'll pay Eric Rezahaki their $300K a year. $300K the third year, $300K the fourth year. That's $600,000, and they get two $30,000 bonuses. That's $650,000 deal, which is like almost $400,000 after taxes in your bank. If I make 20 or less, they get $200,000. They sign a $460,000 deal, which is like $270,000 over taxes. That's still a shitload of money. They can buy a $500,000, $400,000 house without money. And a Mercedes-Benz, a nice like $50,000 Mercedes-Benz, an Infiniti, a Lexus, nice fucking cars. They can afford it. They easily afford their car payments, right? So I'm qualifying it. If I make more than 20, I'll pay my head chefs more. They get $660,000 for Xanus. And then for the Great Escape, they're making like their $700,000 with their bonuses, right? They get like $650,000 and two $40,000 bonuses. So $650 plus $80,000, $740,000 deal. Eric Rezahaki signed if I make more than 20 for the Great Escape. If I make less, they sign their like 500 something thousand deal for the Great Escape. If I make less than 20, chances are they're gonna make the 200,000 because I highly doubt I'm gonna make over 20 billion off my book. So only the English speaking will buy it. Samsara. Wow, you're fucking generous. Yeah, because I know me and Vijay are gonna make our billions. Eric Rezahaki have families to feed, and if you want them to work hard for you and they're working for the biggest film studio in the world, you got to pay them a lot of money. But if they get greedy and want more money, I'm not paying them more money. They might get greedy. What about 400K the third year, 400K the fourth year? I'm like, no, guys, I'm not going to pay you 800K. You're crazy. You're getting greedy. You're ripping me off. You get your 200K, $460,000 for 2 years. That's a lot of money. That's like $270,000 after taxes in your bank for 2 years of work. Easily put a down payment on a $400,000 house. You only have to put like a $25,000, $30,000 down payment on that. You can easily put a down payment on a beautiful $400,000 house in Elmer, Gatineau, beautiful house. Samsara? You're gonna see them in the documentary, Eric Rezahaki, the head chefs. I'm gonna have the doc team fly to their house and film them, film them in their house, and you're gonna see them. Yeah, they're rich now. They used to live in apartments, and now they have a beautiful house in Elmer, or Gatineau, or Hull. Most likely Gatineau or Elmer. They have nicer houses. They have a beautiful, like, $450,000 house. They're driving nice cars, living great. They're rich now. They're not multi-millionaires, but they're rich. They're upper class rich people. I changed their lives, right? Hey, you're welcome, guys. Yeah. And if they make $660,000 for Xanus, if I make more than 20, Eric Rezahaki can now afford a $700,000, even $800,000 house because they made like $660,000, which is like almost $400,000 after taxes in your bank. They can easily afford to buy like an $800,000 house, even a $900,000 house. They can afford it. I highly doubt they're gonna get a $900 million house if they make $660,000. They're probably gonna get maybe $600,000, $700,000 house, $800,000 house they can afford because they made almost $400K after taxes. Yeah, they're rich now, but chances are they're not going to make that. They're going to make their 460. If they make 460, they're most likely going to buy like a $400,000, $500,000 house around there, $550,000 house, $600,000 at most. They can still easily afford, obviously, easily afford their payments. That's why they might cry when offering that contract. Oh, Ivan, thank you, man. You changed my life, man. I immigrated from Afghanistan to Canada. I never thought I'd be this successful. Yeah, it's tough to make 200K in this world, man. Most people don't make that, man. Yeah. That's why I changed your lives. Ivan, will you increase the actors' salaries? No. But Ivan, you're increasing your head chefs? Yes, because the head chefs are not making the kind of money the actors are making. The actors are making their tens of millions in A-listers. And so I'm not going to overpay them and have them rip me off, man. Have their agents rip me off. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm going to get more coffee, guys, soon. Yeah. The actors is a different story. They're making their tens of millions. The A-listers, right? Yeah, even the Beast actors they're making way more than all the other crewmen. They're making way more than the head chefs. My actors, my Hollywood actors for my movies, right? Yeah. Making their tens of millions or millions. I'm not increasing the amount. I'm not going to have these guys do it, man. There's a reason why I'm making way more than you, because I'm bigger than you. And me and Vijay are the big boss. Don't hate us, you said, yeah. Even if I make $50 billion off the book, VJ will tell me, yeah, Ivan, this is enough money for the actors. We're not going to pay them more. We don't want to. We don't want to have these guys duping us. Yes, I'm not going to have the Hollywood actors, agents, and managers dupe me. What I'm paying these stars for Xanus and the Great Escape is more than enough. I'm not increasing the amount. See, Sarah? They don't make that in Hollywood. Yeah. Yeah. So the actors will be blowing up by your company. Yeah, the Xanus stars will be blowing up my company. They're like, holy shit, man, Ivan's company blows out of the water. He's paying me way more than what I make in Hollywood. Better perks, and man, his company's high end, man. Yeah, they flew on me and VJ's private jet, our 350-minute private jet, like Incredibles, with the GPS speaking, where the cup holder goes down and goes up. And then they arrive in my beautiful Gran Turismo studio lot, Sky Source Film Studio lot. And then they go in the interior of my office. Everything is pimped out. A beautiful office with a beautiful elevator, my beautiful boardroom. And after that, I take them out to dinner, and they party up with me and VJ's, I don't know, 800 million house if I make 20 billion off the book. And an 800 million house is unheard of. It's like Batman, man. Batman's cave, yeah. It's like Incredibles. Something unheard of. Yeah, man, Ivan's company blows out of the water. Yeah, blows out of the water. I pay more, you get better perks too. And crazier fame. You experience crazier fame than what you experience in Hollywood. These Hollywood celebrities are not as famous as me. Maybe you're a god, we're more famous than all those guys. So, Sarah. Yeah. Yeah. So Peter Jackson will be shocked. Yeah, I gave him an unlimited budget. I don't know, a 700, like I don't know, 40. If I make 20, I'm putting like 2.4 billion towards Xanus. Where's my calculator? Is it here? Oh, it's over here. My phone's a bit crooked, guys. It's crooked. Okay, that's better. Okay, Okay, so 2.4 divided by 3. That's an $800 million budget per volume. So if I make 20, I'll put 2.4 billion towards the movie, and I'll put 800 million per volume, and I'll put 500 million towards visual effects instead of 400 million, 100 million more. I can put 200 million towards costumes, armor, weapons, and machines for the mask, and like 70 million towards extras, 60 million towards set building, a bit more. Yeah, we build that would mean we build better sets. Yeah, that's if I make 20. If I make 15, I'll put like 2 point. If I make like 17, 18, I'll put 2.3. If I make 14, 15, 16, I'll put 2.2. If I make like my 10, 11, 12 ish around the 13, I'll put 2.1. But either way, it's a revolutionary technology. Even if I make it for 2.1, $700 million for per volume is already a revolutionary technology. 400 million towards visual effects, that's already a revolutionary technology. If I put more, 500, the movie will be even a bit better, right? The horror will be even scarier. Yeah. Obviously, you need to give Peter Jackson the big budget. That way, he's happy and he has unlimited resources. He can do whatever he wants to do for the movie, for the war, for the battle scenes, for the horror, for the wobbling, for the costumes, for the armor, for the set building, for the mask. Peter could afford it all. Samsara? Yeah. Yeah. So Peter Jackson will have that smile on his face. Yeah, he will. You see him in the documentary. You compare him to Lord of the Rings in my documentary. You can tell in my documentary he's much more happy because I paid him. I don't know. He signed his 1.4 billion deal, Peter. 1.4 to 1. If I make 20, Peter signs 1.6 billion deal because I'm paying him a bit more. I'm paying him 850. I'm paying him 250 million for the game and 200 million for the merch. So he signed his 1.6 billion deal. If I make 20. Signed a master contract, and I gave him a 2.4 billion budget, $800 million per volume, 500 million towards special effects and visual effects. That's more than his entire Lord of the Rings budget. Yeah. Ivan, the amount of money you're putting towards special effects alone is more than my entire Lord of the Rings budget combined for the 3 movies. He's like, your company blows out of the water. Yeah, $500 million towards visual effects and special effects. If I make it for $800 million. And I'm putting a good like 200 million towards costumes, armor, weapons, machines for the mask. That's more than his Fellowship of the Ring budget for all that. A huge budget towards extras. We can afford to have large crowds, yeah. The extras are going to cost me a lot of money. Tens of millions, man. You have a lot of gatherings in my book when you read my story when you read it, right? Yeah. He's all happy. He's like, Ivan, man, I'm excited for this movie. I said, I know, Peter. Are you more excited for my movie than you were Lord of the Rings? Ivan, are you fucking kidding me? I'm way more excited for the movie than I was Lord of the Rings. Ivan, your story is better than Lord of the Rings. You gave me all the budget. Bob Shane and Mike Lynn only gave me a shade out of the budget, Ivan. And they paid me way less. I'm making way more for your movie. Yeah, you signed as a $1.6 million deal, Peter. I made 20, right? Signed a massive deal. He's walking away like 800 million in his bank. That's what taxes, Peter. His agent's cut. Getting paid. Mel Gibson's getting paid. Yeah. Yeah. Give me a second, guys. I'm going to go upstairs and get some coffee. I'll be back in a sec. Let's get everybody know why I laugh alone. We're not doing this show. Alrighty, guys. Sorry about that. I had to get my coffee. Yeah, you guys better enjoy these salvos with his wife so can, right? I told you when I'm king, I want making meals for you, right? I keep saying that. Yeah, you may pay a price when my wife I didn't do anything wrong. You're also gonna pay a price when I'm king. That's how it works. Yeah. Look, I didn't do anything wrong, man. You guys are fucking crazy people, man. You know, I mean, you didn't do anything wrong, but like, you're innocent, but man, we're fucking average. You're too beautiful. BJ's too beautiful. We wanted to make you guys pay and destroy your life. Yeah, and when I'm king, your life's also destroyed. As you're left behind your Bama God when I'm king. You're not safe, man. Me being king and VJ queen is affecting your daily life, guys. Like, every day you're always wondering, I wonder what I and VJ are doing. You're missing out on all the fun, man. Me and VJ are living the life of the main event. You're missing out on all that. You're left behind. You're left out. Oh. How serious is it when you're king with you? It's so serious. I'm even affecting the famous, man. Even the famous and rich are affected by my fame. Even the famous, all the famous celebrities around the world who are multi-millionaires and billionaires, even they feel like shit. They're all the side attention, yeah. All the Hollywood celebrities, all the pro sport athletes. You know what I'm saying? The authors, the news. The academic people, they all feel like shit. The famous academic people, they all feel like shit, yeah. They're all the side attention. You know, me, we your king, queen. Yeah. Yeah. Your hormones through the roof. Oh yeah, they're through the roof, man. I never had sex with a chick. You can only imagine my hormones are through the roof, obviously. So if you're not going to say your virginity for VJ, no, it's pointless. You guys are going to turn me into a porn star. There's no point in me saying my virginity. And Victoria Justice is a cheating whore. She keeps seeing the guys and fucking them after she grinds me. That's why I'm going to get my girlfriend doing it. Victoria Justice gives me hell. You know what I'm going to do, VJ. I'm going to not listen to you, just like you don't listen to me either. Victoria Justice is not going to listen to me. I can make as much videos as I can exposing VJ, telling her to stop seeing the guys. She won't listen. She's going to keep seeing them. Yeah, she cries to me all night long. She's recollected, and after that she texts the guys and she fucks them after that. I'm going to get my girlfriend too, VJ. If you're pissed off, I'm sorry. Karma's a bitch. I'm not going to listen to you either. There you go. Ivan's messaging me. He won't do that. I'm like, VJ, I already asked him how you want to date like 2 years ago, man. I'm not playing around. I'm actually going to get my own girlfriend. Yeah. I'm not going to do that, man. You have all these moments with all these guys. I'm not going to do that, man. No way. Some Sarah. Yeah. Sidetracking. Tonight I might start my Ivan's go-through series where I get a coffee and I go over my book for like, I don't know, 45 minutes. What I'll do is I'll talk a little bit during the video, that way it's not boring. You just see me sitting on my computer and I'm going over my book. Or maybe not, we'll see what happens. Yeah. I want you to take a loan from the bank because I don't need to take a loan from the bank. Me and VJ have more. If I make $20 billion off my book, I can easily fund Xanus myself for $2.4 billion, and I'll make my money back as a good investment. I don't want to be stressed out having to pay the bank back. I know I can easily pay them back. I have the keys to gain them, but you don't want to be stressed out knowing you got to pay back like $2 billion, right? Yeah. Because George might tell me, Ivan, just take a loan. Like, there's a saying, never fund a movie with your own money. Yes, I know that saying. There's a saying in Hollywood, never self-finance your own movie. It's very risky. But for me, it's not risky. Me and VJ are God. We have the keys. The whole world will buy our movie. We're going to make our money back. It's not risky for us. We have the keys to the kingdom, me and VJ. Whereas these other guys don't have the keys. Hence why it's risky. Hence why they find they find sponsors or like funders, financiers to finance their movies. Because most movies, to be honest, lose money or break even. Yeah. I don't know, a good maybe 30% of movies make money, the other 70% lose money or make no money. The movie industry is a very, very risky business. There's a lot of movies lose money in Hollywood, right? And even the independent world too. The independent run, a lot of movies lose money too. Yeah, it's risky. That's why no one funds movies with their own cash. It's very risky. Francis Coppola self-financed Megalopolis, and he lost $100 million. He spent $100 million on that. He lost money because he spent very little. He didn't market it well. As I didn't see much information about Megalopolis. He didn't market it that well, and the movie flopped. It only made like $14 million, something like that. So he lost $100 million, Francis Coppola, because he took that risk, investing his own money in the movie, and he lost his $100 million, which is not fun, honestly, right? Yeah. But I don't have to worry about that. I have the keys to the kingdom, and I'm special. I know the whole world will buy my movie, right? Yeah, it's not risky for me. We have the keys to the kingdom, which means we don't have to spend. We don't need a marketing team. We don't have to spend a dime on marketing. We have the keys, me, Jay. Yeah, me as a guy, we don't need a marketing team. We don't need to market it. We have the keys. Yeah, we have the keys. The work is already the workload's already done for us. We have the keys. When I create my website, you guys will know me. We have the keys. Yeah. Well, you have a nice website. Oh yeah, I'm gonna have the guys design a unheard of website where you guys are like, holy shit, that's a fucking cool website. Yeah, yeah. Tell the web designer I want it to look professional, just as professional as Netflix. Not the same format. My company's not streaming, but I want it to look professional like Netflix, where like you have the ads and everything, and it looks very professional with the Sky Source News. Okay. You want like Hollywood Reporter or something like that? I'm like, yeah, for the Sky Source News. I'm like, yeah, okay, I mean, the web design is a beautiful website. What do you call it, Ivan? Skype.net or SkySource.net? Or SkySourceFilms.net? Skype.net or SkySource.net. That's a sick name. SkySource.net. I'm like, yeah, Peter Ivan, that's an amazing name for your website. No. Ivan, you have a top-notch website, no, Peter? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I heard John Campia. I saw John Campia's recent video. He said he might not retire, I think. I might be mistaken. I might misunderstood what he said, but I think John Campia said he might still be doing videos. Yeah, like I predicted, right? Yeah, John Campia loves doing his show, man. He makes a lot of money doing it. Why the fuck would he retire? Yeah, being a movie pundit is not that much work, right? Compared to other jobs. Or John Campia might do it part-time, maybe. Because when I'm king and John Campia has his channel, he'll get more views because they're not going to talk about my company, but they might throw in a few code words here and there, and he'll get more views, man. Once I tell Sky's Entertainment, he'll make even more money because now my Sky's Entertainment company is the main event. All the movie puns around the world are going crazy about my movie, man. And they're going to talk about it in coding a little bit, obviously. In coding, right? You guys see what I'm saying here? Holy fucking shit, did you see that trailer? Oh my fucking god, holy shit, that's the best villain ever. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they can't talk about directly. I didn't sell the gates, but they might throw in code words here and there. Yeah, and the whole world's buzzing about my Xanus movie. Will the movie be good? Will it be good like the book? You know what I'm saying? All the booktubers are gonna be going crazy when I release my book. Some of them might say, yeah, it's the best fantasy novel ever written and all that stuff. And some people might criticize it. Yeah, it's a bit raw. Yeah, even though it's a bit raw, I still entertain you more than what? Than these other authors, right? Yeah. So Sarah. Yeah. Ivan, are you bluffing, man? Did you really write what you showed us? Yes, guys, I'm not lying to you guys. What I showed you guys, I wrote it, man. Holy shit, Ivan, you are gifted. Yes. When I told you all to give this author, I wasn't playing around, man. I'm a fucking genius. A literary genius, yeah. I wrote a masterpiece. As when I read my book, I knew it was number one. That's why I've been bragging to you guys for years. You guys probably didn't believe me. You probably thought I was over-exaggerating or I was being biased. And once I showed you guys snippets of my book, you're like, holy shit, Ivan's book's fucking entertaining. Yeah, it's a fucking entertaining read. It's a masterpiece. Oh. Some Sarah. There's a reason why the gatekeepers want to control my brand. They know it's going to be more popular than Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter, and Marvel, and Star Wars. Yeah, Ivan Zane's brand will be number one. It's going to be more popular than even our J.K. Rowling's Harry Potter. Yeah. That's why they want me. They want to buy my brand, but I'm not selling you guys, man. I have the keys. I'm gonna sell it to you. This money's for me and VJ. It's not for you. You're just a greedy pig, you know. Yeah, you want to take me and VJ's 20 billion when you're making all those trillions around the world? No fucking way, man. You're not touching a dime of my money, man. Zero. The money's for me and VJ. It's not for you. You said zero to me touching your money. You're not touching my money either. That's how it works, right? Yeah. 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 So Tactics is blinded by his feelings for Lithia. Yeah, a little bit. He's obsessed with her, man. He likes her a lot, man. That's why he's like, no, I can't leave Lithia, yeah. And she's a southern chick. And he's drawn to this southern chick like crazy when he first sees her. As you guys read in that passage, when they see her at the stairs, she says hello. That's why he's like, it's a lady from the stairs. Well, aren't you going to talk to her? I certainly want to, but she has two other friends, and I don't want to do it alone or something like that, right? We'll talk them together. No, no way am I doing that. I'm not sick. I know my book is sick. When you read that, the characters jump on page 2, right? Yeah, they actually sound like they're whispering. Ivan, how do you do that, man? I don't know. It's a gift that I have, man. I just know how to make the characters jump on the page. It's a gift that I have. I have the gift that I have. Yeah. Yeah. So that's why Cassie said that. Yeah, he's like, you mean Eli's daughter? It seems you already clarified your feelings, Tactics. We don't have time for this. Yeah, okay, Tactics. Okay, I now understand why you don't want to ditch the Southern because you likely think we don't have time for this, Tactics. She's a Southern chick. You're the Prince of Xanus. You're too important. We gotta get the fuck out of this place, man. This place is cursed. It's Eretat's kingdom. The wolves could be coming here. We gotta get out of here. He's like, no, Cassius, we can't do that. I believe we're here to save these people in the South Maritat's grasp. Yeah, that's why we're a masterpiece. And you get the biblical symbolism of Jesus, obviously. He saves those who believe in him from Satan's grasp in hell, and they get to live with him in heaven. Whereas the Southerners get to live with Tachys in his heavenly northern kingdom, Xanus. But not all of them make it, right? That's why Tachys tells Cassius, some of these children here will not see the north, will not see my heavenly kingdom. Here's I'm looking at a master's, man. This is powerful, I know, Peter. It's more powerful than Lord of the Rings. More powerful sword than Lord of the Rings. Masterpiece. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I have not. When I read that passage, I can tell Tachys is more mature. Yes, after he gets thrown in a dungeon, the experience humbles him a little bit more. Because it finally hit him, yeah, even though I'm a cocky, arrogant prince, and I bow to no one, like, my arrogance got the best of me, and the Southerners threw me in a dungeon, humbled him. And he sees the Southerners a little bit different now. He has more sympathy towards them. But he doesn't really, he gets way more mature in Volume 3. In Volume 2, he's still a bit arrogant and cocky, but he gets more mature and it humbles him, the experience, when he gets on the dungeon Tactius. And in Volume 3 is when he becomes really mature, whereby he's in prayer, he prays and everything like Jesus, man. That's why I wrote a masterpiece. Whereas I was like, you're looking at a masterpiece, this is Lord of the Rings. I don't read Lord of the Rings. It's a masterpiece. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I work tomorrow. But tomorrow I'm not alone. I'm with another dishwasher. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, but Ivan, how did Cassius know that Aratet and them are coming? Um, because he what? When you read in that scene, the capture chapter, when Aratet was looking for Tacius, yeah, Cassius knew the wolves marked Cyrus, and then when him and Tacitonius got captured, Aratet was looking for Tacius, and he had a gut feeling, yeah, the wolves already marked Cyrus. Something tells me they're also coming to mark Saphius, and they're looking for Tacius, and we escape. They must think that Tacius is in Saphius. Hence why Tacius had that gut feeling in his heart that the wolves are coming, and he was right, obviously. So Cassius is the one who pretty much saved. No, Tacius saved the Southerners, but Cassius is the one who told Tacius that I think the wolves are coming to mark this land. Yeah. That's why he's like, Tacius, listen to me. Somebody doesn't feel the darkness of the wolves' presence draws near. I can feel it with every inch of my bone. Something in his heart was telling him the wolves are coming to mark Saphius. Because I've been looking at our maps, a 20,000 army like Helm's Deep marching with devils like that, and you have the Exodus like Prince of Egypt. Holy shit. This is gonna beat up my Lord of the Rings, Ivan. I know, Peter. No, Ivan, seriously, man, this is a masterpiece. This is Lord of the Rings, Ivan. I know, Peter. Lord of the Rings, the masterpiece, man. Yeah, man, imagine I'm adapting on the screen. It doesn't mean top notch. Yeah. 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 So Aratat only kept Tacitonius and Cassius alive, yes, because he thought they had information about Tactius, obviously. They were looking for Tactius, hence why he had some use for them, hence why he kept them alive. But eventually he probably would have killed them, hence why they had to get out of that place. I won't spoil the story, you'll see what happens when you read the book. They escaped because the fate of Tactius was at stake. Had something to do with in the movie you have something to do with the ancestors. The fate of Tactius is at stake, hence why they had to get out of that place. Because Tactius was thrown in a dungeon, right? That's why I wrote a masterpiece. It's so powerful, my story. Yeah. And Aratat had a gut feeling, yeah, they went to Saphius. I guarantee you the prince is there. Obviously. And he also knows that it's a generation, it's time, it's a time of the generation to mark the lands. Yeah. Cassius knew Aratat marked Cyrus. He had a gut feeling they're gonna mark Saphius too. And he also knows that Aratat's looking for Tacius, and he seeks the information from Cassius and Tacitonius. Hence why he's like, Tacius, I have a bad feeling about this, man. We gotta get the fuck out of here. But Tacius like, we can't just abandon people and have the wolves come and slaughter them. He's like, cousin, think twice of what you're saying. Like, the Northerners don't like the Southerns. You know what I'm saying? And Tacius like, no, Cass, that's an order. And Cassius has to listen to him because Tacius is his superior. He's the heir of Xanus, obviously, right? He's like, as you say, Your Highness, you know. Ivan, what's one of the most funniest scenes in your book? And what about Takis? That gets me every time. That's why I showed you guys that. That's one of my big scenes right in my book. Ivan, that was sick. I know. Every time I read that passage, I laugh, man. It's so funny. Job. Yes, sir. Wolf and try Oh, he's just not. Oh, what about Takis? Alright, that's funny. I know. My book is sick. Yeah. That's why you can argue Volume 2 is better. Some fans, I believe most fans are going to like Volume 2 the best. Because Volume 2, you can argue, has the best flow of dialogue. Even better than Volume 3. But Volume 3, the scenes blow your mind away more. And that's why you can also argue Volume 3 is better. It's a back and forth, obviously, with the two volumes. And Volume 1 is the worst because it's the build-up volume, right? It's the build-up chapter of the story. But some fans might even like Volume 1 the best, right? It just depends how the art hits them. Art hits everyone different ways, right? Also, the scene when Lithia's like, Father, Jesus, how much flies do I get from you? Ivan, that was a good one. I know that was a good one, yeah. Yeah. Father, Jesus, how much flies do I get from you? That was funny, I know. The book is sick. I'm saying. I am the leader of this land. I must do what is necessary to keep the people of Savia safe from harm. What of a truthful tongue? What of it? You mean that, man? I'm sick, I know. Yeah. Because he had like Takis at first. Yeah, when you guys read the beginning of Lydia's chapter, he likes Takis at first, but eventually he doesn't like him, obviously, as you guys read in that scene, right? That's why he's like that man. He can't stand Takis. Doesn't like him, yeah. Why? I don't want to spoil the story. You'll see what I mean when you read the chapter. I don't want to spoil the story for you, obviously. Yeah. Yeah. So you do get biblical sense of Takis, yes. Takis saves the Saladins from the devil's grasp in the South, and they get to live with him in his heavenly kingdom, Xanus. And Takis humbles himself, and he takes on a fake identity, just like Jesus humbled himself. Jesus came from his heavenly throne in heaven to the earth, which is like a dumpster compared to heaven. He took on the form of a servant. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And when he claimed to be the Son of God from the heavens, no one believed him, and they arrested him. Just like Takis, even though Takis is a cocky, arrogant prince, he does humble himself. He chooses to take on a fake identity to protect himself. Obviously, though he tells Eli that he's a Princess Xanus and even gives evidence, Eli doesn't believe in it. They seize him and they throw Takis in a dungeon. And Takis even works for Eli. And he knows. Think about this. Takis knows he has authority over Eli, and yet he works for him and everything because he has to play along. Exposing his identity is too dangerous. You can draw the wolves there. If the spies find there's a man named Takis in Safius, the wolves can come and kill Takis, and as well as the Solomons are like to Northerns, and Takis have to hide his sword. That's why I wrote a masterpiece. Because this is a masterpiece. I know, Peter. It's a masterpiece. Yeah, Sirius tells Takis, your name tag is not be used, your sword hide it. They can't know you're the Prince of Xanus. I didn't show you that part because I don't want to spoil too much of the story for you. I skipped. The part when they meet Eli is right after that scene when Job tells Takis to hide it. I mean, you guys read a little bit of it before, right? When you read the first page of Volume 2. Yeah. Sirius tells Takis, your sword hide it. They can't know you're the Prince of Xanus. Because Eli and them are the one who forged that sword. That's why Takis hid his sword. And he hid his identity. Nobody knew that random man was a prince from the north, man. That's why I wrote a masterpiece. And when he claims to be the prince from the north, the Prince of Xanus, nobody in the south believes him. No one in Safi's believes him, except for Lily. Lily has a faith. She believes him. That's why in that scene when she's talking to Belle, She's like, Belle, they told me everything and I believe them. And Belle's like, Lit, that's crazy speech. No one's the air of Zane's watering these parts. We're in the South. Even Belle is shocked. What the fuck is the Prince of Zane's doing here? We're in the South, man. Why the fuck would he come here? The Northerns never come here. Yeah, the Northerns rarely come to the South. They fear the wolves. And that's why it's shocking that the Prince of Zane's will come to the South. They don't believe it. That's why I wrote a masterpiece. Imagine applying that onto the screen, man. You're looking at a masterpiece. Yeah, he's on trial. I'm saying, yeah. 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 Tactius the First. So he's the son. And yes, Belle. Tactius is the last heir to the Zane throne, whatever it is. Yeah. So Belle's a bit weird, yeah. As you guys read in that passage, right? She's a bit weird. Papari is a guilty man. Yeah, she's fucking weird. She's a little weird in the book. She asks us a lot of dumb questions and everything. You'll get that in the book when you read it. Lithia's like, Belle, what? No, yeah, she's a bit weird. That's why Ariana Grande's good for Belle, obviously. Yeah, she's a bit weird, Belle. She's a weird chick. Yeah. Lithia's best friend, right? In the book when you read it. Yeah. Yeah. Does Cassius and Tacitonius show Eli who's boss? Yes. You'll see him what I mean when you read the rest of that passage, obviously. The one when he's like, you must be Eli. Don't take one more step. No, yeah, read a good maybe 2 more pages and you'll see what happens after that. I didn't show you the rest. I won't spoil the story for you. Yeah. Yeah. Ivan Takis knew he had to throw it over Eli. Yeah, he knew. But he had to play along to protect himself. Obviously. Yeah. But when they interrogate him, Tactius no longer plays along. He tells them who he is, but they don't believe it. They seize him and throw him in a dungeon, obviously. But Tactius knew he had authority over Eli, but he had to play along and work for him. That's why he was very annoyed when like Eli woke him up the next day. Rise, my Syrian friends, it is time for chores. He's like, huh, what time is it? It is time for chores. Go away. Excuse me? I know, sick. I know I'm sick. That was funny, I'm saying, yeah. Yeah. What work does Tactius do? Well, I don't want to spoil the story. You'll see what I mean when you read the Lithia chapter. But Tactius and Papari and Sirius work for Eli. And Cornelius too, right? I don't want to spoil the story for you when you read the Lithia chapter. In the land of the blacksmiths, Sapphius, yeah, I don't want to spoil the story for you. You'll see what I mean when you read it, guys. I don't want to spoil the story for you. Yeah. Some time. That's why my book is like a special book, man. It's a special story, unique world building. Yeah, even though Lord of the Rings and like Way of Kings, Stormlight, Game of Thrones have richer world building, richer choices of words and everything, the story is not as entertaining as my book. My story is more entertaining. It's the better book, man. And at the end of the day, it comes down to entertainment. Yeah, these authors may have better choice of words, richer dialogue, richer speech and everything, but the story is not as entertaining as my book. As fantasy writers read it, a lot of those guys who are much better writers than me in terms of like the choice of the English literature, beautifully written, but in terms of the entertainment and the story, it's not going anywhere. It's boring. They don't know how to pace a story. They just rely on their beautiful knowledge of the English literature to wow you, but the story's boring. It's not going anywhere. There's plot holes. Whereas me, I don't really wow you with all these big words. My book is beautifully written too, as you guys read. I don't wow you with all these big words with the descriptions and everything. And the choices of English words it's pretty simple words, but it's entertaining and I keep the story pacing because I have to have the gift that these guys don't have, obviously. Because a lot of those writers of fantasy writers read it are much more talented than me in terms of the English literature, right? I read some of the stuff there, holy shit, these guys, they know all these big English words, but the story's boring, it's not going anywhere, there's plot holes, and it's a bit over confusing. Here's the thing, man, if you spend time dumping, if you overuse the English words, it can be a bit confusing when you read it, right? Just try to keep it as simple as you can, and just the most important thing for your story is your characters and keeping the story pacing. Just focus on your characters. Spend maybe a page max describing the lands and get right to the point with the characters. Don't spend like 3-4 pages doing it, otherwise you're going to bore the reader. Your English may be beautiful, but you're going to bore the reader, man, if you do that. That's what a lot of these fantasy writers do. Who want to be fantasy authors, they just rely on, they just spend pages describing stuff. Yeah, it's beautifully written, but the story's boring. It's not going anywhere. It's not entertaining. And don't try to be too smart, man. Whereby you try to wow the readers with your English words. It can be a bit confusing if you do that too. They describe what the character's thinking, what they're doing with all these big English words. It's a bit confusing. You don't really know what's going on because they have this overuse of these big intermediate English words. Yeah, it's beautifully written, but like the story's not going anywhere. There's pacing problems. It's boring. You know what I'm saying? Like, you guys read my book. I don't use all these big English words. I don't even know half the English words that these guys use on fantasy writers Reddit. Half those English words I don't even know. I don't even know half those words. But yet my story is still the better story. It's more entertaining because I have the heavenly gift. I know how to keep the story entertaining, keep you hooked, keep the story pacing. Samsara. I have the heavenly gift. Yeah. So, Ivan, what's your advice to writing a more entertaining story? Okay, my personal advice, based off my experience writing a story, right? Focus more on your characters and keep the story pacing. Get right to the point with the characters. Avoid info dumps about describing the lands, what the character looks like. Avoid that. Avoid like, my advice: don't go any longer than a page describing stuff. Like, keep the story pacing. Because if you keep dumping the reader with like 4 pages, 5 pages of what the land is like, what the character's thinking, what they're doing, and all that stuff, you're not pacing the story. Yeah, it's beautifully written, but you're doing yourself a disservice. You're not keeping the story pacing. You're what? You're interfering with your pacing of your story because you're just constantly describing things, and you do that, you're gonna bore the reader, man. You're gonna bore the reader, guaranteed. Yeah, your English language is beautiful, but the story's not going anywhere. What you keep doing, you keep dumping the reader with all these info dumps about the lands and everything, and you're gonna bore the reader. Me, I don't spend any more than like a paragraph describing stuff, and I get right to the point with the characters. That's what my stories are entertaining. That's my advice. But every author has their own different advice because every author writes differently. But from the way I write, I recommend you get to the point with the characters. Don't spend any longer than a page describing stuff, and get right to the point with the characters. If you want to have an entertaining story, and that's how you keep it pacing. If you keep focusing on the characters, what they're doing, their dialogue and everything, their actions, everything, you keep the story pacing. But at the same time, to keep the story pacing, you gotta have an entertaining. You also have to come up with an entertaining story too, which also is it's not easy, obviously, right? That's tough. Obviously, you kind of have to be creative, obviously. But I recommend you take Brandon Xanus's lectures on YouTube. You can watch it on YouTube. His lectures. I'll help you out. And the best advice I can give you is keep practicing your writing. Challenge yourself. Write a 10,000, 20,000 short story. Have people review it, and you know what I'm saying. And if it's bad, go back and change it. And that's how you get better as a writer. Obviously. Some saying? Yeah. How good's your book, Ivan? My book is so good. I'm gonna be compared to guys like Mozart and Shakespeare. Those guys were creative geniuses. Mozart wrote beautiful music. He was known for his music, and Shakespeare was known for his beautiful English literature. Honestly, that's how good my book is. I want to be compared to those guys. It's so good, my book. It's a beautifully written story. It's a masterpiece. Yeah, it's very weird. Like all these other authors, they have bigger choice of words, better English literature in their book. Obviously, the world is more deep and everything. Ivan's story is a bit more simple. He doesn't use all these big words, and yet his book is more entertaining. All these books. How does he do that? It's a heavenly gift I have. I don't know how I do it. It's a gift I have. I have a heavenly gift. God gave me the gift. Almost done here, guys. Some sound. Yeah. I gotta clean my room. It's a mess. This week I'll clean it. Yeah. 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 Yeah, when you guys read my book, I'm a very simple writer. I don't use all these overcomplicated words. But yet my story is so more entertaining than all these other novels who have better choice of words, richer worldling. Yet my story is more entertaining because I have the magic trick. I know how to really entertain you. I have the heavenly gift. That's why the gates want to control my brand. He knows it's number one. My submarine told me Xanus is number one, right? Which means it's better than all these fantasy authors' books, right? Lord of the Rings, Game of Thrones, Wheel of Time, Malzahn, Way of Kings. Better than all those books. And that's why I guarantee we'll go on a book tour too. Because I'm going to leave my email information on the back of my book. Obviously, what about your number? No, not my number, my email information. That way, if they want to interview me, they can contact me. And this is guaranteed I will go on a book tour too. Because Xanus is the best fans I've ever written. A lot of fans are going to ask me, Ivan, like, what's your advice? Well, I just told you guys, that's my advice, man. Take creative writing classes. You can watch Brandon Sanders lectures, read as much of the greats as you can, and practice your writing. Keep writing. That's how you get better. My writing was not this good when I wrote my other book, right? But I honed my craft. I got better as a writer. Even if I wrote a shitty fucking book, I'd still make my billions. But I didn't write some shitty book, man. I wrote a masterpiece, man. It's the best thing I've ever written. Yeah. Some sound. Yeah, if I go book touring, they're gonna ask me, like, well, Ivan, what's your advice? Should I traditionally publish or self-publish? Well, it just depends on what path you want to take. If you want to be famous, be featured on magazines of Jimmy Fallon show, then traditional publishing is the way to go. But if you want to be more simple, if you want to make a lot of money and be simple, just have YouTube interviews and all that stuff, and you sell your book online, then self-publishing is the way to go. But self-publishing, you make more money and you own the rights to your book. Whereas traditional publishing, you lose the rights. The publishing houses own your book, obviously. If you traditionally publish, and you're their puppet, they want you to write a 3-book series. You got to write a 3-book series, and they're going to put pressure on you to finish it. And the editors can tamper with your story, and they can change your cover, change your characters. Yeah, but the book is no longer yours if you traditionally publish. But at least you get the fame. But you make less money too. You only get like 5, 10, 50% of the money. Whereas self-publishing, you can make your 50, 60, 70, 80% of the pie. Yeah, even more, 90% if you sell on your website or something like that. Yeah. For Lulu, I take 80% of the pie, and they take 20. I'm sorry. But to make 80, you have to sell directly on Lulu. If you partner with third parties like Amazon and all that stuff, you'll make less. You'll make maybe your 55%. But I'm selling my book directly on Lulu. The ebook is directly on Lulu, and the book is directly sold on Lulu. That's how I make my 80%. Oh. I'm gonna tell the guy who helps me set up my Lulu account, I want to sell directly on Lulu. That way I make my 80%. He's like, okay, Ivan, yeah. I'm not partnering with Amazon and the third parties. No. Print on demand on Lulu. It's directly on Lulu. That way I make my 80% for my Xanus book. And Lulu's a huge company. They're a multi-billionaire company. They can ship my book worldwide, obviously. Most people are going to buy the ebook, obviously, right? Yeah, that's why it's good to have the ebook. That takes a load off Lulu for shipping, obviously. Because for ebook, you don't have to ship the book. You just download the PDF file once you purchase it, and you can read it on your laptop. And you're looking at the best entertainment ride of a lifetime. I wrote a masterpiece. My book is sick. Yeah. Some Sarah. So you don't have one chapter in your book where you spend time info dumping? No. I get right to the point with the characters. I'll describe maybe a paragraph max, man. Yeah, or maybe 3/4 of a page max. And I get right to the point with the characters, and that's why my book's so entertaining. Yeah. Did you choose to do it that way, or that's just the way you write? That's just the way I write. I don't like info dumping you with what the line looks like. I know I'm gonna bore the reader if I do that. That's why I get right to the point with the characters, and it works. Even though my world is a bit vague, the story, the characters make the world jump on the page, and it's very entertaining because I have the magic trick that a lot of these authors don't have. These authors have the magic trick too, but they don't really have the magic trick that I have. As I don't have one boring chapter in my book. All my chapters are entertaining. Whereas a lot of these fantasy authors' books have some boring chapters. They're a slog to get through, yeah. Like Lord of the Rings. I heard Way of Kings, some sections are boring. Game of Thrones too. My book is not one boring chapter. It's all entertainment. It's all interesting, yeah. It's a masterpiece. There are weaker chapters than others, but even the weak ones are entertaining. As I showed you Young Tackies. Young Tackies is arguably the worst chapter in my book. And yet it was fucking entertaining when you read that, right? Yeah. You mean monsters, cousin, yeah. Don't the prey take shelter protection or run away. You know, I'm now sick, I know. That's why Xanus will be the best brand in the industry, the best novel written. You guys are sort of me when you read it, and you're looking at the best movie children made when I adapt the story. Anyways, guys, here's what I talked for now in 31 minutes. That's good enough. Hope you guys enjoy this show. Stay tuned. I'll make a video tomorrow after my daunting shift at Cool 40. This is Adamir. I'm signing out. Peace, guys. Hope you guys enjoy this show about Xanus. Peace out.